A man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life. Ignorance more frequently begets confidence than does knowledge. Animals, whom we have made our slaves, we do not like to consider as equal. Man tends to increase at a greater rate than his means of subsistence. The love for all living creatures is the most noble attribute of man. I have tried lately to read Shakespeare and found it so intolerably dull that it nauseated me. A scientific man ought to have no wishes, no affections, a mere heart of stone. I am not apt to follow blindly the lead of other men. Intelligence is based on how efficient a species became at doing the things they need to survive. Blushing is the most peculiar and most human of all expressions. I love fools' experiments. I am always making them. The highest possible stage in moral culture is when we recognize that we ought to control our thoughts. One general law leading to the advancement of all organic beings, namely multiply, vary. Let the strongest live and weakest die. If the misery of our poor be caused not by the laws of nature, but by our institutions, great is our sin. The survival of preservation of certain favored words in the struggle for existence is natural selection. I have called this principle by which each slight variation, if useful, is preserved by the team of natural selection. I never gave up Christianity until I was 40 years of age. Much love, much trial, but what an utter desert is life without love. Some call it evolution, and others call it God. We are always slow in admitting any great change of which we do not see the intermediate steps. Nothing can be more improving to a young naturalist than a journey in a distant country. For the shield may be as important for victory as the sword or spear. I am not apt to follow blindly the lead of other men. We are not here concerned with hopes or fears, only with truth as far as our reason permits us to discover it. Free will is to mind what chances to matter. The highest possible stage in moral culture is when we recognize that we ought to control our thoughts. I have tried lately to read Shakespeare and found it so intolerably dull that it nauseated me. Only picture to yourself a nice, soft wife on a sofa with good fire and books and music. It is impossible to conceive of this immense and wonderful universe as the result of blind chance or necessity. An agnostic would be the more correct description of my state of mind. If I had my life to live over again, I would have made a rule to read some poetry and listen to some music at least once every week. Even people who aren't geniuses can outthink the rest of mankind if they develop certain thinking habits. Blushing is the most peculiar and most human of all expressions. Only the fittest will survive. Great is the power of steady misrepresentation. We stopped looking for monsters under our bed when we realized that they were inside us. A man's friendships are one of the best measures of his worth. Building a better mousetrap merely results in smarter mice. To kill an error is as good a service as, and sometimes even better than, the establishing of a new truth or fact. I am not the least afraid to die. I am like a gambler and love a wild experiment. False facts are highly injurious to the progress of science, for they often endure long